Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with the second chapter of geography, that is the interior of the earth. To understand the structure of the earth, first let's get a background on how the earth was formed. It happened 4.5 billion years ago. The earth then was nothing like what it is today. The earth started off as a round ball of homogeneous molten material revolving around the sun. As the liquid slowly cooled down, the denser materials that formed the earth solidified and sank to the center of the earth, where formed a metallic core. At the same time, the lighter, less dense elements were pushed out towards the surface, where they formed the Earth's crust. This led to the formation of Earth with several different layers of material, very much like an onion. These layers are arranged one on top of the other. The outermost layer is the solid crust. Next is the highly thick layer called the mantle. Below the mantle is the liquid outer core of the earth. A solid inner core forms the earth's innermost layer. The topmost layer is the thinnest layer. This layer can be classified into oceanic crust and continental crust. The oceanic crust, that is, the crust beneath the oceans, is only about 5 km thick. On the other hand, the continental crust can as thick as 35 kilometers. However, considering the Earth's size, the crust is quite thin. Suppose the Earth was scaled down to the size of a football. Can you guess how big the crust would be? It would be about half a millimeter thick. The Earth's crust is at its thinnest in places such as the Rift Valley in East Africa and thickest under the mountain ranges. The continental crust is composed of two minerals, silica and alumina. This is actually the combination of two elements, gives it the name Sial. The oceanic crust, on the other hand, is mostly made up of silica and magnesium. It is called Sima. Did you know when the Earth's crust gets heated, the hot molten magma, ash, and gases come out from the core to the surface of the earth? This results in the formation of a volcano. The magma that is released on the surface of the earth is called lava. The crust, however, make up only 0.5 to 1% of the earth's volume. So what about the other components that makes up the earth? Well, 83% of the earth is made up of the mantle, and remaining 16% consist of the inner and the outer cores. The mantle, it lies just below the earth's crust, is 2900 kilometers deep. That makes it the thickest among all the layers that comprises the earth. It is made up of thick material. The temperature and the pressure at the mantle are high as it is located below the crust. That makes the material of the mantle very thick, which means although it is in a liquid form, it does not flow freely. This material inside the mantle is more thicker than tar and known as magma. Mantle is divided into two, that is upper mantle and the lower mantle. Right from the upper mantle to the lower mantle, it is 2900 kilometers thick. The upper mantle is called asthenosphere. The region of the crust and the upper mantle together we call lithosphere. Asthenos means weak, and due to its weakness, the magma finds way to the surface of the earth, cause volcanic eruption. The total thickness of the crust and the upper mantle is 200 kilometers. The lower mantle extends beyond the asthenosphere and it is the solid state. Lower mantle is also responsible for the seismic wave and earthquake. The temperatures at lower mantle range from 870 degrees Celsius to 2200 degrees Celsius. Finally, as you go deeper inside the earth, you come to the core. The core consists of an outer core and an inner core. The outer core lies just below the mantle and is mainly made up of nickel and iron. This combination gives it the name knife. The materials within the outer core are in a liquid state. Considering how high the temperatures in the outer core are, can you guess what the conditions in the inner core would be like? It would be even hotter. The temperature of the inner core range from 5000 degrees Celsius to 6000 degrees Celsius. You may be wondering why is the inner core is solid despite such high temperatures. The pressure in the inner core is so high that the material gets solidified. We have finished with the part 1 of this chapter and we will be continuing the same chapter in part 2. Thank you.